We are headed to go look at some properties.
What's up?
Got the pups with us. And we thought we'd
This one keeps farting.
Yeah, she
Man, I had to
ripping it.
Roll down the window.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know dogs fart so much.
So bad. She's the only dog I've ever had that farts and burps. Like, maybe one of these days we'll catch it on camera.
I knew she was special when I got her.
Yeah. But we're going to look at some properties.
It's like our third
Are we
weekend.
moving again? I don't know yet. But we thought we'd take you guys along this time. Show you guys what we're looking at and share little pieces of it. So
yeah, we're going up near Dallas. And I mean the drive is always nice. I like the drive. But
it's just long.
Sometimes it gets time consuming, let's say that.
We usually stop once or twice and, you know, get some food or some snacks and stuff,
Yeah.
so. Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous.
Biggest baby ever. She's a lot like...
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay, chill.
You see how mine? She's just chilling by herself.
We just got done viewing this one, the first house we had on our list. And it was nice, it was good. Good acreage, about 5 acres. It looked bigger than 5 acres.
Yeah,
but,
I wasn't a fan.
Courtney wasn't a fan, but I mean, the house was pretty solid. It's almost 2,000 square foot.
The house is okay, but for the price and the amount of updating it would need, okay, maybe. And then it had another house on it in the back, but it was...
Which piqued my interest.
Yeah. Which would be nice, but oh my gosh, it needed so much work, you guys. It was bad. And then the neighbors were super close, and there was a street right in front of the house that cars were driving on. It wasn't like
main. It was like not the main one, but
busy,
the secondary main.
Not my favorite thing. You couldn't hear them in the house, which is okay, but I don't want to step outside my front door and because there was a big backyard and just hear cars. It kind of ruins the whole point of being a little bit out in the country.
Yeah.
I'm being taken over by
the
dogs.
acreage is not. I mean, obviously the minimum we would have, like with the house on it, would be 5. But I'm looking for 10 or more. Or 7
Ideally.
or more, ideally, but more in the cut, you know, less on the main road. So,
just more.
We're on to the next one. We're gonna keep on looking and
Go in the back.
We'll give you guys updates. Back.
Yeah, we just want more privacy. We don't mind having neighbors, but that neighbor was literally like right there, like as if you were in suburban neighborhood. So
I could adapt them up. I could have been like, "What's up, dog?"
Yeah.
That's how close we was.
Catch y'all at the next one. We just left the second place, so now we're on to the third. We liked that one a lot more than the first one.
It was a big square footage, 2,300 square foot.
But it still was only on 5 acres, and
didn't have a pond.
Yeah, it's not checking all of our boxes yet. That places we've seen, and we've gone 2 other days to look at properties. So yeah. And also, we just both know that we're gonna walk in the house and walk on a property and know this is our home, you know? Now, does that mean we'll get it? No, because if other people put offers in too, but still, none of them have given us that feeling yet, so, okay, maybe. We're just, but I mean, look at how pretty it is out here.
Really nice area over here.
Don't mind our cracked windshield.
If people say Texas is flat and all this other stuff, don't believe them. Come to Texas for yourself. I mean, the west side of Texas, stay away from there. It's flat, dry, nothing. But the east side, man, this is one of the most, I would say this is one of the more beautiful places I've been.
But we're still looking. We haven't really shown the houses because if we end up, you know, wanting to buy one of these and end up getting it, you know, privacy. So we may show bits and pieces of them, but not the whole thing.
So we just got finished with the third house. That house I actually liked it. I liked the land. It had 2 ponds on it. 2 big ponds, well, 1 big one and 1 small one, but they have smallmouth bass and perch, some other stuff like that. It was a little bit over 12 acres. It has some infrastructure on the property as far as like a place where goats would go and, you know, chicken coop area, stuff like that. Personally, I liked the house because it gave me Montana feels, like Montana cabin feels. The whole inside of the house was like wood, like but that dark wood. And then they also had a VRBO that looked like a piece of crap until you go inside. Then it's like, it was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably one of the best VRBOs I've seen. But Courtney wasn't too thrilled. Apparently, it was too dark and all this other stuff.
It had like no natural light, very little natural light. It was really dark in there, so really the only way you would get more light in there is to add artificial light, which I personally really want a lot of natural light in the house, especially because we film and all that kind of stuff. And I just think I'd rather have natural than, you know, more light bulbs basically. And I liked the cabiny kind of feel. It was a little bit, reminded us of my parents' house in Montana, but it just made it feel very dark. And then the layout of the house I didn't care for. The master bedroom used to be, I guess, 2 bedrooms and they made it into 1, but it still was not very big in my opinion. And then they added on to the house, and their son is a contractor and did it, and it was definitely sloping. Like Ethan looked a foot shorter when he was in the back corner, and you could feel it slope down. And we asked if they had any foundation issues, and she said no, but it was very clear, like anybody would know, like, whoa. Yes, I loved when you walked out the back door, there's a big old pond and it's beautiful, but I didn't really care for the house. Parts of the land I liked, like the ponds, but the rest of it I felt like was just kind of yes, it came with a lot because there's a big old shop, the ponds.
Well, I look at land, like a next purchase, as how useful can this property be? Like, how useful is the land?
Yeah.
That's how I go by value. I mean, the house...
And I don't disagree with any of that, but we've been through the renovation thing. We've been through, like, I know I'm not trying to do all that again, because, no, we're at a different part in our life now that there's other things we're trying to do. And...
She's bougie. She's a bougie part of her life.
There's things I want that I'm not willing to settle for this time, basically. And I keep telling him, we can look at as many as you want, but I'm not doing all this again. And I want certain things in our house, and I'm not settling for less than that. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
We're pulling up to the next one, so we'll let y'all know, like, go to that.
Here's I can show you the front yard of it.
Look it up. So we just wrapped up on the 4th house. I liked it, personally. It was only 3 acres, but with that 3 acres, they had a lot to offer. They had a shed, they had a garden shed, they had a place to put, like, it had like a fenced off, a separate fenced area. I really liked it. The house had a lot to offer as far as space. The rooms were massive. Each room was massive. The master bed was massive. And the other 2 bedrooms were massive as well. We had walk-in showers. I guess it was wheelchair accessible. I guess somebody that was living there was in a wheelchair or whatever. But I really liked it. Court, on the other hand, always has something else to say. Here we go. Here we go. Come on.
Yeah, I liked parts of it.
Here we go.
But I didn't like much of it. I'm just being honest. It got hot, so I changed. But, yeah, I mean, right when you walked in, it was just like a small, like, I don't know what you would call it, like sitting room. And I didn't like that as soon as you walked in the house, it just felt small. Then the kitchen, which he doesn't pay attention to these things because he's not in the kitchen like I am. So I'm thinking, this is what I keep saying to him, I'm thinking functionality and stuff like that too. So the way the kitchen is laid out, I can't stand. And I also am thinking ahead, and he gets really irritated about certain things, and small like hallways and stuff bug the crap out of him. And the way the kitchen is laid out is the stove, the back of the stove faces towards the wall, like a little, I don't know what you would call it, like walkway. You can't see the back of the stove, but you know, it's an electric cooktop. But and then they had cabinets above, so there's like a space in between, if that makes sense. And that is just very tight. And then because it's wheelchair accessible, they made like a really, really low countertop, which is like, obviously that's great for them, but for us, like down the road, I feel like that would need to be raised up so that I can have extra cooking space, or we have space to like sit at or whatever. And then the wall in the kitchen that's like brick, it has like these weird like slices in the wall, if you will, because on the other side is a fireplace, and those little cuts in that part of the wall really irritate me. And I would be looking at them every single day, and I don't know, I don't like it. Like, there was all these weird nooks and crannies that, it was built in the 70s, so like the whole thing would need to be updated. And I mean, there's parts of it that I think would be okay because of like the wheelchair accessibility, but then parts of it that aesthetically I don't really like the master shower, I would want the bathroom completely redone. Because, no offense to this person, but it reminded me of a prison shower, like what you see in movies.
Are you serious?
It had all the white tile. I don't know. It just felt very much like that. And it's probably original tile and everything from when they first bought it. And then they made the bottom of it wheelchair accessible. But the inside of the house was not my favorite. The layout was really weird. Again, like, I don't like all the stepping down, stepping up situations.
Because you're klutz?
Yeah. Partly because of that, but also when we have other people come over, that's another thing you have to like remind people. And if they're elderly people, it's
wheelchair accessible.
There's step downs everywhere still. From there to the garage. Like, whatever. It's not bougie. I'm gonna be picky when we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, I am. I'm not ashamed of it.
Oh, okay.
I don't want a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci purse or none of that, but there are things I want when I buy a house, and I am not ashamed to say it, okay? I'm gonna voice my opinion. Anyway, the outside was beautiful. I loved the outside. There was like one structure that was like chicken coop kind of size that I thought was kind of cool, and then they have a really massive like shop. I don't know what you want to call it. So I loved that part of it.
It was a two-story shop.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but it looked like garage doors. But once you get in there, it's like all gravelled out. Like you can have like cattle or something in there. And
there was, one side was concrete, and then one side was like pea gravel all over. And the one side that was concrete, all I could think was like the coolest like Western photo shoot in there, because it had like old school like wood cabinets and countertops and like super rustic, and like mirrors that have been there for, I don't know how to explain it. It was like, it was really cool. I should have taken a picture of it. It reminded me when I went to a ghost town to take photos, but anyway. I loved that the neighbor next door had like a little cattle ranch or whatever, so there's tons of cows in the, like, behind our house. If you guys don't know, I love animal photography, so I would love taking photos of them every day. But aside from all that, it's a no for me. So the outside, the inside, no thank you. So we're off to the last and final one. Do you want to tell them what we're doing after, or?
Yeah, we actually have a surprise for y'all. We're going to Dallas, taking a road trip out to Dallas, because one of my cousins that I haven't seen since 07. I was at 07. It's been a long time. One of my favorite cousins, my cousin cousin Curtis.
Oh my gosh.
Me and him was like, it's like this.
He lives in North Texas, and he's coming down to Dallas, and so we're like an hour outside of Dallas right now, and so Ethan said, okay,
I'm gonna make a see visit to him.
We'll make a little trip out to you.
I'm really excited because I haven't seen him in years. And, you know, I love seeing my cousins. You know, and you guys will see. He's a crack up. He's something else.
to say the least, yes. We just got done with the last and final one, and it was a hard pass. The land had a lot to offer. There was
great.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of land.
10 acres. Pastured, mature trees.
Yeah.
The only thing it didn't have was a pond, which I could make.
The house itself was horrendous. It was super old. They just did a lot of weird things into the house. Like they made a garage into another living room, and they didn't do it very well. It was like two giant, like where the doors used to be, two giant orange squares on the wall.
Where the garage doors used to be.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of leaking problems, like floor, ceiling, the whole thing, and it was just super, super old. Like I don't know when they had done anything, if they did anything.
You can tell whoever is living in that house probably doesn't have the money to afford to do the upgrades, or even cares to do the upgrades. But they're putting a big price tag on it, though.
Yeah.
They're trying to get a lot of money out of a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Like, just because you got 10 acres don't mean that thing's worth the price that y'all asking.
Yeah.
You can't just have a junk heap. And it had a secondary, like, apartment style garage.
It was a garage, and then it had like a little, you could call it an apartment in the back. It did have a bathroom, but it was so bad. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be completely gutted and redone. So like if you wanted to tear everything down to the studs, but even then I still think there was probably foundation issues, and like I said, there was leaking from the ceiling, leaking on the floors in the bathrooms at some point. So it's just a lot of stuff that...
Yeah. So our problem has been, we find great land, but the house is trash.
Yeah.
Or we find a great house, but the land is trash. So we've been trying to sift through all these freaking homes.
We're playing, we're like Goldilocks, we're trying to find...
But we're not trying to settle for something where we get in a house and we're just like, man, we should have waited. So I'm being patient. I have a feeling the housing market is going to be really bad the third quarter of the year. So later on in the year, I think that's when we're going to make our move, potentially, allegedly. Let's just say that. We finally made it. I'm finally here. I want to introduce y'all to my cousin, my infamous cousin, Curtis.
Oh yeah. You feel me? With the beard and everything, baby. Yeah, we out here in Dallas, connect.
This is we grew up together. This is my favorite cousin, and we got into so much ish back in the day.
True.
And I want y'all to. We were able to meet in Dallas because he lives out in where you live? Amarillo, Texas. So it's pretty far drive from Waco, but we about to link up. We about to go shooting. We about to do a lot of different things. We go hunting. All this. We all down for that. So I want to introduce y'all. And ladies, don't comment below about green eyes. Don't do none of that. Oh, y'all want to see the green? All right, show. Want to show the green? Well, yeah. Hey, we had a good day today, but we ended on a good note. I saw my cousin that I haven't seen in years. How long has it been? Like
5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a while, and so it was just nice seeing him again. So I wanted to introduce y'all to Mr. Curtis. So we about to get out of here.
So our day is finally concluded. We're gonna get home so late because we went to go see his cousin, as you guys just saw. So it's been a day.
Man, y'all ain't gonna believe what just happened. This is crazy. So I'm outside, and this Mimi jumps over the fence as usual, and look what happened. Then we end up with another dang dog. She's not ours, but Mimi jumps over the fence, and then this dog's over another fence. This dog jumps over this fence. It's just a long story. Another crazy day in our lives.
We are not keeping her. Okay?
We are not keeping.
We're not keeping
We might
her.
keep her because she's a GSP.
No, we got enough dogs.
I wasn't here.
yeah, I just came outside and I brought the dogs outside with me just to like sit in the sun for a little bit. And then, sorry, our neighbors are chopping down tree limbs, but Mimi hopped over the fence as she does from time to time. And normally I can get her back, but all of a sudden there was a GSP in our neighbor's yard, which we've never seen before. So I'm trying to get Mimi back over here, and then the GSP hops over. Ethan runs over there because they both hopped into a yard that has a gate open in the front, and he's knocking on everybody's door like, hey, your GSP's out. Nope, they're like, oh, we don't have one. So the lady was like, yeah, she just showed up on our doorstep. So I put her in the backyard. So she's in our backyard now because the lady was like, she's not ours. So we're probably just gonna, what we're thinking about doing is taking a little walk, like a street up or two with just her, and seeing like if any of those people, that's theirs. It's kind of sketchy though because she has no tag or anything on her collar, but obviously she's somebody's because she has a collar. But she's a really expensive dog, so we can't just like knock on people's door like, is this your dog? If anything, we'll probably just have to take her to a shelter so that the owner can go there and get her. But you know, apparently we're the dog whisperers because we always end up with dogs in our yards or something. But she's super sweet though, and surprisingly both Mimi and Mochi, well, it's not really that surprising, they both get along with her. Mochi's just over there chilling. These two though, if we had both of these, I already know they'd be partners in crime.
It looked like she just had babies or something.
Yeah, she does.
Everything's very dilated. So
she's super sweet though. We already got one hyper dog, but we don't need another one right now.
I don't think we can do three dogs.
We already said we wouldn't.
Two's enough.
I'ma need safety. Tell the op can't snake me. Ray gun off.